Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the gameplay series. Today I've got episode 7. Uh, and before we begin with some attacks, I just quickly wanted to go over the base and try to figure out some of the things that I wanted to do today. So, as you guys can see, I don't have many resources, but I've got a couple of workers free. So, I'm going to try to get some gold and oil to start working on some upgrades. And just looking at the base, basically, I think I'll start with the walls. Just get them up to level 6 and see how many I can do. At least the outer perimeter, get them up to level 6 and then see what we can do after that. And once that is done, hopefully I have enough oil to even start upgrading some of these barracks. I've been trying to get the nurse, but just haven't been able to get to that 1 million. And even besides that, the other 3 barracks are still pretty low level, and it's pretty difficult if I'm trying to make pyros. I only have one or actually 2 that can make pyros at this point, so it takes a long time. So hopefully I can get that up and to level 6, and then maybe even get the nurse going. So let's just go ahead into some attacks and see what we can find. Besides the walls and the defenses, I still have the lab, which is free right now, so maybe if I have enough oil I may start upgrading some of my troops. So looking at this first base, we've got a good amount of resources, so this is definitely one that I'm gonna attack. The first thing I want to do here is just check out the clan HQ and make sure there's no troops there. Even if there were, the way the base is laid out, I could have probably attracted them to the left side of the base and then taken them out with my riflemen, but there weren't any, so that's great. Moving on to the main section of the base, we've got pretty much 4 main sections other than that flame tower and the command center. So what he's done is he's got all his storages in one main section along with a couple of mortars, and he surrounded all that with the rest of his defenses. So even though there's a bunch of defenses, there shouldn't be much of trouble getting through with this base. The defenses aren't very high level, so I'm not going to have much of a problem taking them down. I'm just going to start off with dropping a few gunners to try and take those mortars down, and then start attacking those flame towers so I don't get any splash damage from them. So as you guys can see, I've already taken care of the 2 mortars and one of the flame towers. At this point, the second flame tower is busy with one of the gunners, so I'm going to go ahead and start dropping my riflemen at the top. I've gotten into this habit of dropping more than 20 of them at the same time, which is not the best idea, especially if you're in range of the flame towers or the mortars. So I recommend that you try to save a few units so you can take down the rest of the base. Luckily, I still had 6 riflemen, and they really helped out at the end. At this point, we're got about a minute and a half left. Most of the resources on the base were in the collectors, so we're gonna start dropping in my spies at this point. And this is what I was talking about. The riflemen helped me take that cannon out. Otherwise, that watchtower and the cannon combined could have done some damage against those gunners, and I might not have been able to get 3 stars. I kind of also delayed on dropping the spies. If I'd done that earlier, most of my riflemen would have been able to take care of the other parts of the base. So when you're dropping your units, kind of see where these buildings are, what buildings you want to attack, and try to have your infantry attack the defenses rather than spending time on collectors and storages. But anyway, it worked out, and we were able to collect about 250,000 in resources. So a really good attack to start off. I did get 3 stars, 16 trophies. There's still pumpkins there, as you guys can see, because I kind of recorded this video some time back when the Halloween special was still going on. I just haven't been able to get around to it. Moving on to the next one, we've got about 450,000 in resources, so definitely a nice base for resource farming. And looking at the oil rigs, most of the resources should be in the collectors again. And as a general rule, this is the kind of base that I usually look for. You don't want bases where some of the resources are in the collectors and some are in the storages. It's better if they're in one or the other, and then you can just focus on that part of the base. Usually the oil rigs are a good indicator of where the resources are, and the storages do a pretty good job as well. But I haven't been able to figure out from the gold mines if they have any gold or not. So what I'm gonna do here to start off is, as you guys can see, there's a couple of mortars at the bottom left of the base. So I'm gonna start attacking from that side and try to take them down, and then start dropping in my spies and my infantry. So to start off, I dropped in a spy to just make sure there weren't any troops in that clan HQ. And once that is done, I can start dropping my riflemen to try and pick off some of these buildings that are accessible outside the walls. So looking at that gold indicator, it's also a good gauge on whether the gold is in the gold rig, the gold mines. And just looking at basically each hit is taking out 600 or so from that rifleman. So if you guys aren't sure of where the resources are, this is a good way to try to figure out if they're in the collectors or the storages. So what I'm going to do here is start dropping my gunners now and try to take care of some of these defenses. This will help me take care of those defenses and take those mortars and the flame towers down, and then I can start dropping in my spies and going after those oil rigs and those gold mines. So anytime you're dropping the gunners, you want to make sure you drop some riflemen behind those. Basically, they do more damage than the gunners, and while the gunners are distracting those defenses, your riflemen can help take those buildings down. So at this point, I've already taken care of one of those mortars. I'm going to drop in some more gunners on that flame tower and that second mortar. Basically, just clearing off the bottom half of the base. And now I have access to most of those gold mines, and even the storages are free for me to attack. For this attack, I actually brought in 10 slashers as well, and they're definitely going to help out right here in absorbing some of the damage from these defenses, while my spies and my riflemen can take care of the buildings. So we're at about 45% right now, and once the next couple of buildings go down, we should be having our first star. And with 40 seconds left, I'm not too worried about getting 3. And after these spies take care of those last 2 or 3 storages, they're going to be free to start attacking the rest of the base and helping out with taking care of the defenses. So we've got the last flame tower and a watchtower left. After they go down, we'll just have to contend with the command center, and we're on our way to having 3 stars for this base. So pretty good attack. We ended up with about 450,000 in resources, which is really great. 260k in gold, which is awesome. It's going to help out with some of these upgrades that I want to do, and we also did get a decent haul in terms of trophies and ratings as well. So moving on to the last attack of the day, it's a pretty simple looking base. We've got pretty much one big compartment. I'm a little worried about those 3 mortars being together, because when I try to attack them, the other 2 will probably start attacking my gunners. And also to top that off, he's also dropped in his flame tower right on top of those mortars. So I'm gonna have to try to see what I do here. So to start off, basically we have about 197, close to 200,000 in resources. Not the biggest haul that we've had today, but still a pretty good amount, especially with the base not being that difficult. Looking at the rest of the base, the buildings are pretty spread out, so I shouldn't have too much trouble getting through this. Hopefully we can get to 3 stars, but definitely 2 stars should be a possibility here if I can attack this base according to plan. So let's see, what I'm going to try to do here is just drop my gunners and try to get through that wall. But obviously they're going to go to that cannon first, so I hope that those mortars don't take them all out first before that cannon goes down. So what I'm going to do is drop some riflemen and try to take care of that cannon and that Jericho. And once those go down, the rest of my gunners will head straight for those mortars, and hopefully they'll have enough health left to take them all down, and the flame tower as well. So at this point we've got one of those mortars down, 2 are down, and the third one should be going down. And now that that area damage unit is gone, we can start dropping in the rest of our spies and start dropping in our riflemen, taking care of some of these resources on the base, as well as some of the other buildings that are scattered around the defenses, the barracks, and the rally points. We've already taken care of all the oil on the base. Most of the gold should be in that storage right above the command center, and my spies are actually on that right now. Once they're done with all these storages and the collectors, they'll be free to start attacking the rest of the base and helping out the riflemen and the gunners take the defenses and the barracks down. I'm a little worried about that flame tower at the right. It might be able to do some damage, especially against my riflemen and my spies. So I'm hoping my gunners can survive till then. But even without them, I may have a chance to get through this with about 30 more units left to drop on this base. And my spies are doing a great job. They've already taken care of the command center. And now that that flame tower is distracted, I can start dropping the rest of them. They're going to take care of that cannon and then move on to that flame tower while it's distracted. So we're pretty much done with this base, and we're on our way to collecting another 3 stars. Pretty good haul in terms of trophies, 33 and 22 ratings as well. So we got our 3 stars and close to 200,000 in resources, and we can finally head over back to base and see what we want to do in terms of upgrades and basically unlocking or maybe upgrading some new units as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if you liked it, and do keep your eyes out for a new series coming up soon on my channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.